My name is Canis Andotan. I am a quantity surveyor with over 20 years working experience and still counting. I realized that so many of my colleagues out there find it very difficult on how to price preliminary items. And as we all know that preliminary items is an important aspect of the bill, that if you don't price it well, the tendency for the project to fail is already certain. And it's already certain. And I find out again that many of my colleagues out there, rather than taking their time to price this item one after the other, they go about applying percentage that they don't even know where that figure is coming from. I want to take time to explain how sometimes those percentages are derived. If you have done a project and you are encountering similar projects and the preliminaries that you priced on the first project was adequate, then you can get the percentage of what the preliminary cost was on that previous project and apply it on the one you're bidding, probably for lack of time to take your time to price. But if you have the time, there is the need for you to price every aspect of it, because you know what they still do after getting that percentage? They check the inflationary rate between the time that project was done and now and apply it on whatever percentage they have arrived at to get what it should be now. But in our own aspect, in the aspect of those that are applying this percentage, somebody just tell them it is 5%, they just apply 5. It is 10%, just apply 10. They don't even know the project the person is either bringing that percentage from, how long has that project been executed, and so you see already that premise is wrong. So I will be helping us to unravel how to price this aspect of the bill. And I have drawn out a list of items that you find on most bill, though it could be more, but these are the common ones you find in most of the bill, preliminaries bills. And on the list here, there are 18 items. And on this video, I cannot exhaust all. I'm going to be taking them one after the other, and one after the other, and I'll be doing justice to it. Top on the list is site management administration. Site management administration, simply put, is the system you put in place to manage the resources you are going to deploy, both human and equipment that you'll be deploying for the smooth running of the site. And the two documents you need for pricing of this item is an organogram and the program of work. The organogram is to show you the number of staffs that will be required for the smooth running of the site, while the program of work is to determine when these staffs will come in and when they will leave. Why do you need to determine when they come in and when they leave? There are two important reasons why you should. If you don't determine when they come in and when they leave, the tendency for your preliminaries to be heavy beyond comprehension is there, because for an engineer that is for a structural work, just he's brought in to do the framework. After the framework, if you keep him beyond that without any justification or without no justification, say uh, the job was delayed as a result of either the client's fault, and now there is a need for an extension which was given for 1 month, and it affected the structural aspect, then you can now increase his rates, increase his budget by 1 month. What if his budget is for, say, 8 months, and the structural work is finished for 8 months? He needed to leave, either deploy to another site or demobilize completely. So that is why you need to do a systematical planning for all of the staff when they come in and when they leave. Having said this, I'm going to open a sheet where I have a typical organogram, though heavy, big project. Why I decided to use this is because I want us to learn from a bigger picture than learning from a smaller picture. Because a bigger picture, you can come down. Easy for you to come down to price a smaller project than going up to price a bigger project. So as you can see on this, I have a list of 56 people that have marked to run, indirect staff that have marked to run the project. You see the word indirect, meaning they don't have direct involvement on any item of work. They are supervisory. All of these are aids for the smooth running of the job and for a better quality. So their salary has to be accounted in one way or the other on the project. So as you can see, I have the project manager, the secretary, the cost controller, his assistant, admin officer, timekeeper, quantity surveyor, his assistant, quality safety, quality engineer, lab, security safety. All of these persons are needed on site. I even went ahead to zone, if it's a very big project where we needed to zone it. You have one superintendent in charge of one zone, another superintendent in charge of one zone with his staffs and all of that. That's why I say I have a supervisor zone 1, supervisor zone 1, formwork carpenter zone 2, like that, and all like that. Then having drawn this, and you know you needed 56 people to manage, to help you manage as a project manager, to help you manage the project. You now create an Excel sheet. Excel is an important tool for a quantity surveyor. If you understand Excel, it makes your job easy, but in taking off, which it's I'm going to take that on another day to help us understand how to use Excel to measure all your items in the bill. And it is so fast that I can measure a duplex, a 5-bedroom in a day using Excel, bringing out the reinforcement, the concrete, the block work, and everything in one day. If I sit down from morning till night, I am going to come out with the whole item in the bill in one day. Courtesy Excel, because I've been able to master the Excel in such a way that I have so built some files that I just needed to take information from the bill, from the drawings, insert it, and my quantities will come out automatically. Sorry for the digression, but I needed to put this because you should be looking out for that series. It will come after I finish the series. Having haven't gotten the number of your staffs, you bring down the list of all the personnel you have in your organogram, all these personnel, you bring down them on this list, bring them. Then this is where your program of work now becomes very vital. That you have to interpret the program of work in such a way that you know when each of these persons they needed to come in and when they needed to go. And you see that in some areas you are seeing point five, point five, point five, like the project manager. Why I had to plan the project manager in this manner is because, see, I want to use, let me not call name of any company. Say you are working in a very big construction company and they have jobs scattered here and there. Their project managers are important. They are very important to them, that we would rather prefer they deploy them where their expertise will be needed more than to keep them where they will not work maximally. Why did I say so? This project is a 12-month project. At month 9, at month 9, say at month 9, the project is almost 90% completion. At month 10, the services of the project manager will not be required at full scale on that project, because at 95%, the project will be at handing over stage, where you are clearing snags and repairing of defects. So at this stage, a lesser experienced engineer can handle that aspect. The project manager can really come in from time to time to attend to meetings, to the client and all of that. So he can share his time with a new project that he's been deployed to. And why are you doing this? You are doing this so as to reduce your cost, so that you don't price yourself out. You can as well put the project manager to month 12. Your cost will increase. Another construction company might decide to do this that I have done, and their cost will be low. And that might affect the chance of you getting the job. So wherever you know you can cut costs for the purpose of you getting the job, not to harm the project, you must do it, because you were not just the only person that was called to tender. So with this, you have succeeded in reducing the cost of the project manager by half in 3 months, with the anticipation that he's going to be moved to another site because you always have a job. Then if you come down again, you see I needed to discuss those key important areas that you have to look out for. Say like the finishing masons. Somebody will ask me, why did you include masons, say the scaffolders, the masons, finishing masons on this sheet? The masons are supposed to be under the direct works, because they will either be laying blocks, or they'll be doing plastering, or they'll be doing dressing, which is an item of cost in the bill. But these finishing masons are masons that you have made provisions for to handle some little areas that needed attention, that you cannot put a cost to it, or it is not in the bill. It is not an item in the bill, but needed to be done. Finishing of some small areas, finishing of plastering that has been filled up as a result of construction activities, edges that were broken as a result of movement of things from one place to another. So all of those things will be handled by the finishing mason. Then cleaning of the site. It is not an item on the bill. If you don't make provision for personnel that will clean the site, definitely the environment will be unhealthy for people to work. As you can see, their planning is, I have 15 laborers that have made provisions for cleaning of the site from beginning to the end. At month 1, 2, 3, there are going to be 7 numbers. There are going to be 7 numbers. Then at month 4 to 10, there are going to be 15 numbers. Then at 11 and 12, there are going to be 7. Clean the site. So their total months summed together will give you 9.5 months. And their unit rate is 120 per month. The finishing masons, they are going to be 9. Similar, they are going to start with, they're not starting in month 1. There are 9 of them. That is 4.5 of them will be for month 1 and 2. And month 11 and 12, they are going to be 4 as well. They are going to be 4 as well. So as you can see, the planning is staggered because I've been able to interpret the program of work in such a way that I know when each of these personnel I need them on site. I have prepared their planning. Then you see this column is not telling you how many months each of these guys will stay on site. The only person that is going to stay till month 12 is the quantity surveyor, because he is going to be quantity surveyor, and the nurse is going to be preparing the final account. The nurse will attend to the direct workers. If there is any accident, he has to be on site all through. The next column is the staff you've drawn out from in your organogram. You've transferred down to this place. It tells you the number of staffs you need for each of these offices, why the unit rate, the monthly unit rate is already determined by the company. So you multiply number of months by the number of staff by his rate per month, gives you what his cost will be for the project. By the time you sum up all of this amount, you see the management staff's going to cost the project for 12 months 163, while other staffs that are important to, like the admin clerk, timekeeper, lab technician, assistant safety officer, storekeepers, assistant storekeeper, cleaning. We're having 2 cleaning here. This cleaning is those that will be cleaning the offices, making sure the offices are clean every morning and whenever it requires it. While this other site cleaning is those that will be cleaning the site, arranging the site, making sure that the site is well kept. So you see, I have a 142 million for other staffs. For other staffs, I have the total for site management and administrating team. 12 months is 305 million. 305 million, you come to your summary sheet. And there is summary sheet, this is 305 million, which is the direct works. For you now to arrive at what to sell. This is a sell, this is the cost you're going to present to the client as your offer. And how do you arrive at this, your offer? You now come to your selling sheet, where you now have all the workings. This is a breakdown of your overhead and your profit. The company overhead, 2%, and this 2% is determined by the size of your company. If your company is an international company with 2 corporate offices, one in diaspora and one in the country of resident, you determine what the cost of those running that office, the rent of the office, the personnel there, and the costs of because the one overseas, since it's an international company, they have branch all over. So it's some certain percentage that will be allocated to a particular country to say, for every job you do in this country, our cost is 10%, and we are giving you 1%. You are going to be applying 1% on it to account for our cost. By the time they share it all, account for the international office, then accounting fee, that is the cost of borrowing money. You take a loan from bank to start the job. You needed to pay back the loan with interest, client administration fee. If it is applicable, you apply. Cost of design, which is if it's a design and build project, you are going to engage the services of an architect, civil engineer, mechanical engineer to put the whole drawing in place for proper execution. You have to account for what their cost will be. If that is applicable, you check how much they are charging you. If it is a 2% of what you apply it gives you their cost. The defect liability period. Defect liability period is not an item in the bill, but tendency for certain defect to occur within the period that is in the bill that has been included in the contract condition is likely. So if you don't make provision for the cost of repairing those defects, you are going to be spending to repair those defects from your profit margin. So that is why you must apply a certain percentage. You know the quality of your job over time. You have on other projects that have been completed, you have been able to estimate what are the likely percentage of defects that occurs on all of the projects, and you came up with a certain percentage that we will apply to for any job that you get in future. You apply it, it's a 1% insurance, you have to insure the job and all of that. Technical risks is there, then withholding tax. So by the time you sum up all this percentage, you have a 19%. Then your profit and overhead is 25, which you have applied because you've marked you have said your expected profit is 6%. By the time you add 6% to 19% of the overhead, you arrive at 25%. This can go higher depending on how competitive you want to be. You want to price yourself out and all of that. So after getting this 25%, now for you to get the coefficient that you needed to apply on the direct cost, you apply this formula on this to arrive at this 1.33. Then you now link this 1.33 to your summary sheet. You bring the coefficient in this place, then multiply the coefficient by your direct cost. It gives you this. So automatically your profit margin is 110 million. Your profit and overhead is 110 million on the direct cost. For you to get the clarity, you come to the worksheet here. You see you have a 407, which is the selling. Then you have your 305, which is your indirect cost, which is here. Then you have your overhead, which is 19% of your selling cost, which is this amount here, 19% of your selling cost, which is here. Then for you to get your profit is selling costs minus direct costs, indirect costs, minus overhead. You arrive at your profit. Why computer-based pricing is good is because easily you can adjust whatever thing, and once you adjust it, it reflects automatically. So I hope I've been able to to make sense for the first on the list. I will be continuing this series. I'll be continuing this series. The next will be plant and equipment. I'll keep on adding these items till we price all of these items completely, and we get what the figure will be. You can share this video to most of us that are struggling with this aspect. You can like my page for more information and more tips on how to price preliminary items. You can go to my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/at quantity survey make easy _ 2014. Thanks for watching.